If elements having the properties that are unique, already unique in the application, then by taking the ID name we can work out. If there is a chance, some scenarios, we need to write the XPath in a such a way, identify the category of elements or group of elements. That is one case. The other case, write a XPath which is used to identify the element as a unique. There are multiple elements containing the same properties. We need to differentiate which property is different from the both properties, and we need to take that and write a XPath. So here XPath is one of the locator, one of the locator to locate or identify the element or elements in the page. It will work based on the XPath what you rated. XPath is basically two types, absolute XPath and relative XPath. What is absolute XPath and what is relative XPath? See here, try to read this from yourself. XPath starts with the HTML or single slash from root node of page or HTML code. Relative XPath starts with the double slash. In general way, how to understand this absolute XPath and relative XPath means, if I ask you to what is your location, okay, someone is saying like your native place, okay, relative XPath is something like you are telling the name directly. I am from Andhra Pradesh, I am from Telangana, I am from India, something like that. Yeah, it will tell that. Relative XPath is directly point out to the your location. Whereas absolute XPath is something like that, you are telling with the map also. You need to go to the India, from that catch a flight and catch a train and go there. Then you are at the end you are telling the your location name. So what happens in this journey? Sometimes the given flight may not be available at this time, at that time, or the given train might not be available, bus might not be available, the cab may not be available, the we may select the other thing and we can go, right? The same way, the XPath what we are giving, if we give the absolute XPath, which will start with HTML or single slash, if anything changes happened in the application, the absolute XPath will not identify that element as a unique. Whereas if we go with the relative XPath, it will identify the element as a unique. We will see the example so that you can understand what is relative XPath and absolute XPath. Let us try to inspect this element. Okay, so here we have name equal to q. We can go with that. Generally, how we are taking the copy XPath by default option we have. One more window will take. See here, now I just copied XPath like this. Let me do it again, closing the window, removing this, go into the text box, right click, copy, inspect. It is highlighting with the blue color. Right click, copy, XPath. See here, that is what we return. Absolute XPath starts with HTML or single slash from root node of page or HTML code. Start with single slash or HTML. It is like traversing from the HTML code from the root node to the child element. How we can see that? Okay. See, HTML body div of 1, div of 3. If we scroll up to the body, this is the actual HTML code. HTML body, HTML tag, under that body tag, under that div of 1. Okay. So div of 1 means there are like div 1, 2, 3, right? So style is 1, div 1, 2, 3, something like that. Okay. Div of 1. So from the body tag, 1 is this. And from that, div of 3. 1, 2, 3. This one. And then form. Here you can see form. And then from that, again div of 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. So div of 1, again div of 1, div of 1. So like this, it is traversing. Div of 2, this one. Div of 2. So in this case, if you highlight everything, if you place a cursor in the body, it is highlighting entire thing in the Google. Now this is class. This is one element. This is like one element. You can see this is highlighting the total search bar. Only search icon. Search box in that input text box. So like this, the HTML code will return to design the application like this. Let's say now this is Google, right? Now they added another image. Consider they added another image. For that, they will write a HTML code here. Then this XPath will change. If they add another image, there might be another div of 4, something like that. It will come. Okay. So if while writing a script, generally we are copying the XPath like this. What we copy. While after copying the XPath, if we see that XPath as like this, means this is absolute XPath. This is not recommended to use the absolute XPath. Why? If any changes happen in the application, this HTML code will change. This root will change. Then it will not identify our text box. If no changes are happening in the application, then this XPath is fine. But we cannot guarantee application will not have the changes. There would be like enhancement, right? New features added, new features are removed, some extra features added, then automatically application will have changes. This control navigation will differ. Div of 1, it may change it to div of 2 if any changes happen in this application. So absolute XPath is not recommended approach to write an automation script. While writing a script, what we'll write generally, some URL will write. We need to click on the element or something, find element. Let's say ID is there, then we can simply use ID or name. If ID and name not there, then we can use a XPath. Click or send a key, something. Action will perform after identifying the element. So whatever the XPath we are copying, we'll paste that here. And the next action will perform that click or send a keys or whatever it. So absolute XPath while copying, if copied XPath is like absolute XPath, it is not recommended. There may be chances of application may have changes. If application have changes, then this navigation would change. Div of 2, div of 3 forms. There may be like different changes may happen to this navigation. So that is the reason absolute XPath is not recommended approach to perform the action in the application. Right now we are expecting the text box. It is applicable for every element. If it is absolute XPath, don't take that. Write a other properties XPath, different properties, write a different XPath. How to write XPath? The relative XPath we need to write. Relative XPath start with a double slash. To write a relative XPath, like we have the different syntaxes. Starts with end with. Okay, we'll see that how to write a relative XPath. Now we already have for this element we already have name equal to q, and write a script by using name. If that is works successfully, no without interruption, then it is fine. No need to write XPath. Still, if you want to write XPath, that is also we can write. So first we will see how to write a general XPath, and we'll see other examples as well, so that you will get more confident why we need to use a XPath, what is the need of writing relative XPath also you can understand. Okay, so now the relative XPath general syntax is this one. Tag name double slash means relative XPath. Tag name bracket attribute name attribute value. Attribute value in a single quotes. The bracket is opened here and bracket is closed here. Or the other syntax is, if you don't know the tag name, we can just mention a star and the same syntax. Like example C, double slash tag name input attribute name equal to name property attribute value phone, or we can like this. Okay, so here we can write, let's say name equal to q is there. How to write XPath here? These are all the attributes. You can see input is a tag name, class is one attribute, JS action is one attribute, max length, name, type, area autocomplete. These are all the attributes. In HTML language point of view, we will say these are the attributes. In general way, we can say these are the properties. Spell check, title, variable, data. These are all the properties, or we say like attributes as per the HTML language vocabulary. We will say these are the attributes. We can use any attribute to write a XPath. Which you think that attribute is unique to that element, we can write a XPath using that attribute. Okay, so you can see title equal to such is there. Okay, for the same tag name input and the other attributes we have, from this you can see title equal to such. We can using this we can write XPath here. How to write? See here. What is the syntax? Tag name, attribute value. Okay, so let me copy this syntax for you again. What is the tag name? Input is a tag name. Open bracket, close bracket, is a syntax. Attribute name. Which attribute I want to take as title as an attribute. Single quotes. Attribute name is a title. Attribute value should be in a single quotes. I added single quotes. Value is such. Okay. Now we can copy this XPath and go to HTML code. Press Ctrl F. It will display like find by string, selector or XPath. Paste there. You can see it is highlighting one of one element. Here you may get a doubt like if your name locator is already there, why we need to write XPath here? Okay, assume that there is another application in the same application. There is another text box is there. For that also name equal to Q there, but title is something else. Name equal to Q there. Then if we write like driver.findElement by.name, it will confuse which element to click. Observe carefully. If we write a driver.findElement by.name Q dot click dot send a keys, if that is a unique in the element, that name equal to Q, this property, this locator is unique to that page, then no issues. Our program will execute successfully. Consider there is another element, and we can copy the properties as well. These are the properties of that element. Consider there is another element like this. Okay, name equal to Q and title is age. Consider simple though. There would be chances like this. Here, if you write a script, assume there is in the application which you are working, maybe Google or something application, in the HTML code, there are two text boxes are there like this. Two text boxes are there. Two text boxes, if you write a name equal to Q, that will not sufficient. We need to write a different text path. We need to write a different locators. So one of the locator we have like a XPath. In that cases, we can use any attribute from this. Everything is attribute. Class is one attribute, JSON, max length, type, area autocomplete, has pop-up, capitalize, all these are all like rule, spell check, all these are all like attributes. We can use any attribute to write a syntax, XPath syntax. So why we are writing the XPath? To identify the element as a unique, we are writing the XPath. The name locator might be common for other elements. Then using the other attributes, we can write a XPath to identify the element as a unique and we can complete our action. To complete our programming, we need to write a XPath. Okay, so in this case, if elements are common, then we can simply change this XPath like this. For this, we can write like tag name input title equals search, or we can also write like star without tag also we can write. In this case, again double slash tag name input @ attribute name, again title here. That's it. If you want, we can write this also. Both are works like same way. Okay, let us discuss another example. So here now in this page, example 3 radio buttons are there. Now section 2 and section 3, like total 3 sections of radio buttons are there. Now at this time we have discussed one scenario. Okay, now we are discussing the second scenario using XPath. Now I want to count all radio buttons in the page. Count all radio buttons in the page. Okay, now inspecting the element. Okay, input type equal radio, name radio 1, name equal to radio 1 is there. For all these three radio buttons, same properties. I'm copying this element. Okay, I'm inspecting these elements. For understanding purpose, I'm copying this locators. Sorry. Yeah. So now we copied all element properties. Now I want to count all radio buttons in the page. I want to count all radio buttons in the page. Which property is unique here? Just ping me in a chat window. Which property is common for all the radio buttons? Okay, right. So now to satisfy the scenarios, okay, we have to use the find elements. So far, input is a tag name. Okay, good. But attribute wise, type is a common here. Type is a common attribute. Okay, so to work with the one element, we are writing like driver dot find element by dot XPath. To work with multiple elements, to work with group of elements, there we need to use the driver dot find elements by dot XPath, or the locator which is finding all the elements. Now we need to write a XPath such a way it will get the all the elements. Now write a XPath using this syntax in chat window. Using this tag name also we can find, we'll see the differences. Now we need to write a XPath which will identify all the radio buttons. Same way. So we observed, right? Type is a common attribute for all these properties. Input tag name is also common here. Okay, so why we are not required to take the input here? Okay, so there may be chance of for other elements also, like text box is there or the checkbox is there. Okay, for that also tag name would be input. So if we go with the tag name input, that will identify checkboxes, radio buttons as well. For example, it may be the like this, type equal to checkbox. In the same application, there is a chance like this. Okay, then if we go with by input, it will not satisfy our scenario. Count radio buttons. Okay, so that's the reason we need to go with the common property, that is radio. Someone written XPath like name equal to group 1. Where is that chat window? Okay, name equal to group 1. Will it identify how many radio buttons? If I copy this XPath and paste here, group 1, tag name, okay, attribute name, group attribute value in the single quotes. Okay, we'll change that. If we go to the application, press Ctrl F, paste it, it will see it is showing highlight 1 of 3. If we enter in that, it will highlight. If you want to count this category of radio buttons, this XPath is fine. This XPath is helpful there. But I want to count all radio buttons. What XPath we can write here? Everyone try in a chat window. Even mistake also, that's fine. Everything is attribute. Everything is an attribute. We can take any attribute from the properties. Right, exactly. So let me copy this XPath and paste here. / tag name or star @ is required. Okay, attribute @ attribute name equal to attribute values radio. Now this type is radio for group 1, group 2. Okay, now we'll see this. It needs to give the count as, right, 9 radio buttons. Correct. 9 of 9 radio buttons. We can use this up and arrow buttons also. So identifying which property or which attribute we need to take to complete our scenario. So XPath is used to, this is the syntax is there. How you want to use, that is in your hands. Okay, now what is this doing? It is counting all the radio buttons. Now this radio button will helpful to identify this category, milk, butter, cheese radio buttons. We can say like second group elements. This second group, right? This is first, second group. Now I want third group radio buttons count. What is X path we can write? Correct. I'm copying the X path. Double slash tag name @ attribute name equal to attribute value. Okay. Group 1 means it will get this. Go and identify group 1. Group 2 it will go and identify this. Now in this case I want to click on a milk radio button. Okay, so we have group 1 right here, this one. This is a element attributes. Now ID is not there. Name we can use, but name is common for other elements, so name will not helpful here. Now what XPath we can write to identify that radio button and click. Just write a find element, the XPath dot click. It will click on that element. What XPath we can write now to click on the radio button? Milk radio button. Click on. Right, let me copy that XPath. Right, that's it. Okay, now there could be another chance. If it is like this, only radio buttons are there, this scenario will fail. Third group radio, if it is like this. There may be checkboxes also. Consider different values, like some different values these are. Not water or beer or wine, something. Different values. Third group radio. So if application contains checkboxes and radio buttons, like name is common for checkboxes and radio buttons, name equal to group 2. Now which will identify 6 elements, which is not satisfies the count the number of radio buttons of third category. How to overcome this? We have other combination of XPaths like this. Combining XPath, adding extra property to identify element as a unique. Same XPath, / tag name, bracket, @ attribute name equal to attribute value. We are adding the end keyword, that's it. And then attribute name, attribute value. Now what else we can write XPath? How we can write XPath now? By using the syntax count radio buttons separately, count checkboxes separately. This scenario will fail if the application contains checkboxes, radio buttons with this, like this, name equal to group 2, which will identify radio buttons and checkboxes. So at this time we have this XPath. Now how we can write this XPath by using this syntax to identify only radio buttons or to identify only checkbox. Now try to write. Right. Okay, let me copy that. Type equal to checkbox. Okay, it will go here. As of now it is fine, but the how HTML is displaying, the same way we need to write radio lowercase letters, all the letters. Generally we will copy this from here. Okay, while writing XPath, copy from here. This group 1 is lowercase letters, milk like uppercase letter. So how it is displaying in HTML code, we need to write that attribute values, attribute name and attribute values. Okay, let's say I given like this here, means consider like this in the application, then we need to write the same way. Just for example, I'm saying as of now it is fine. Okay, it will go here, and again at the rate attribute name equal to group 2, single quote is this. That's there are few things we need to take care. See the element properties, take a notepad and write like this, and then copy and paste it in the HTML window again. In this case, if you want radio buttons, type equal to radio. See only 3 elements. Okay, so to work with the group of elements, we need to use a find elements. We will see how to write a program for this. We will see. But some cases, like click on a radio button, we can use like this. Okay, so there are like different use cases would be there. There may be chance of only starting value might be common for the element. Then we can use like this syntax. Whatever the value, starting value is common, we need to use this syntax. Okay, we have this different example. You can see, go and see that. And ends with, if end value is common, we can use this syntax. Contains XPath. This is like very important. So starts with or ends with or contains. If you use starts with, only starting value should be common. If you use ends with, only end value should be common. Contains means even it should be like starting or ending or middle. Based on the condition, if starting value is only constant, then you can use starts with. If ending value is only constant, then you can use ends with XPath. There may be the value may be starting or ending or middle, or it may be starting or it may be ending. Not sure, but I want to write XPath, we can write like this. Okay, now to understand this contains or starts with or ends with, let's take this example only. Okay, now as per this, count only radio buttons or count only checkboxes, we can go with like this. Now I want like count all radio and checkboxes count from page. So we are taking the generalized example. Yet now it may be the different case as per the application behavior. How to write XPath, that's need to decide here. Okay. Now consider these are the two radio buttons and checkboxes are there. Now type equal radio, type equal checkbox. We cannot use this attribute. Values are different. Name group 2 is there. Again checkboxes name equal to group 2 is there. We may use starts with value or ends with value like up2 or contains also group. XPath we can write. What is the syntax? Can simply now try to write XPath for this. We'll see how you can write. Using contains, try to write XPath, which can be identify radio buttons and checkboxes as well. Okay. At this, as per these examples, this is fine. No need to use a contents. Or if you write contents also, fine. But some say syntaxes errors are there that can be modified. Let's say, let me give you a proper thing. Here, group 1. Consider this is not there for now. Now, if you use like group 2, it will identify only checkboxes, which will not give the radio buttons count. So how we can write a contains XPath now? Contains means we can give any value, not full value. Or start with starting value only common. Give that common value. Okay. Attribute name is name. Attribute value is like group. Group is common. So I'm taking that. That's it. These 6 elements. Group is common. In the XPath nodes, I think I already shared. You can see examples for checkboxes as well. You can just explore this. These are. So contains value can be start or can be end. We can give anything. Or we can write starts with XPath also for this. Both are same. Instead of working with starts with, ends with, I'm just going with the contains every time whenever the common value is there. Okay. And the final one, we have too many syntaxes in the XPath, but if you know this is this XPath, whatever I'm explaining, first to focus on this and try to write as many XPaths. Then the later things using the syntaxes only, you can able to write a XPath, different unique XPath. Okay, right. Now the final one is like very important. XPath based on text. Based on text, we can write XPath. Like I want to locate this element. If we inspect this, where is that? I want to locate this element, this text element. This doesn't have any attributes like name or property, something, anything. We can use this contains XPath. Syntaxes, both are like, this is just explaining. Star, no tag. At this condition, star would be useful. I'm copying this text. Contains text. Text value is this. Let's see whether it will identify or not. It is not identifying because it is inside this. Let me show you other example, then we can see this for you. Okay. Uh, there would be like another XPath, like and then child tag we can give. Child tag we can give to identify that element. So here this text is there. We can inspect. Okay. So here we'll try to write a XPath syntax. If not works, then we can write this XPath. Okay. Let us try. This is not working. Any syntax errors. Okay, try this. Contains open here, closed here, text vector. Okay. See, because of that extra symbols, it is not able to identify that syntax. Now we are able to identify this element. we are passionate about tea. So we can write this XPath here. Let's say after entering the URL, after clicking on a welcome link, let me copy this element here. That element, okay. Let me copy the other link. Okay, these are the different properties for the link. Okay, now value is what vocabulary we can say. What is this? Type is name, value. These are the attributes, right? Now after in this page, after clicking on the radio button, I want to get the value. After clicking on that, I want to get the value of that attribute. I want to see the value from the application. Means we need to use a get attribute. Get attribute of get current URL means what we are doing. It is capturing the URL from the window. I want to see the selected value from the radio button or checkbox, something else. If attribute contains a value, what we are looking, that attribute we are using. In this case, the attribute value, the property name also they given like a value. At this case, we are finding this element. Okay. If this element is displayed, say returns boolean. So we can store it in a boolean status. Like we can compare now. If status equal to true, it is successfully navigated to the welcome page. Else failed. Or we can add the assertion as well directly, like so. It is not displaying means that JUnit assertion might not be there here. By default in pom.xml, we would see the JUnit. Somewhere JUnit is there. Control F, JUnit. Cucumber JUnit is there. That we can. Okay. So later we can see that. So here with the comments I will write here. Assert true and message comma status. The status after navigating to the welcome link, it will verify that element is displayed or not. It will, if it is displayed, it will take as a true, else it will take as a false. We are validating, this is the message, element displayed, some message. If this element is displayed, it will hold the value as true. Then we are writing like assert true. Then this will also remain true. Then it will pass. If element is not displayed in that page, it will hold the value as false. Assert true not equals with false. So it will fail the condition. So we are discussing one of the validation here. Now we can see next link our passion. Right click, inspect. Our passion is there. So again we can write a XPath contents always after writing XPath, check that. Paste it and check. See here now our passion. This time contains XPath is giving three links. One is page title is there. Another one, this link is there, and this label is there. So we cannot directly use find element like this is displayed. At this time what we need to do, try to copy the XPath simply first. See what it is displaying. Okay, it is displaying some ID. It is not a absolute XPath. Absolute XPath means it starts with a like this. Double slash means it is a relative XPath only. You can take that and paste it. Okay, it is identifying one element. We can take this and observe in this syntax. This syntax, it is talking about this. Attribute name, ID, attribute value is this much lengthy, and child tags /div /h1/text. This is the ID. /div /h1/text. ID this one, div h1, and then /text. This is the other thing to practice, then only you can understand. It is something like parent attribute and then child tags. We can add like this. So then we can write is displayed. We can use the assertion to check that. Okay, so I hope XPath is clear. Just practice 1 or 2 times, then note down your doubts. Then we can discuss again. If requires, we can have one more session. Okay. Only little bit confusion you might have seen with this. Then don't worry. Just practice that. You can understand that. Okay. Right. Now, at this case, we are writing directly that element text. So in this case. So if you verify with is displayed, that is also fine. Now other condition, this XPath can consider. Driver dot find element by dot XPath. Okay. Now we can verify with is displayed. Again, we can store it in a Boolean variable and we can verify directly with the assertion. Let's say we want to verify that text as well. What text it is displaying. Capture that and compare it. If both are equal, then say like pass, else fail. See, there are too many ways to validate the our link navigation is successful or not, our registration is successful or not. After creating the user, it would display some message. Your user is created successfully, user is updated successfully. Take the contains XPath is displayed, status verify that assertion or if condition, that is fine. But you also, there is another condition, you want to validate the text, whether it displayed the same text or not. At this time, this is a text, this doesn't have any attribute, okay, to store this value just like this. It is directly a text. And for links also, this is text. And where is that element? This is text. So if you want to get the text, we can use dot get text. Get text is returning string. Okay, string data or link label, some variable name, anything. Now you can write a condition here. If link label spell mistake, ignore it, dot contains, at this time what text, this is our passion. Then write a statement, else, let us write assertion. Let me add a assertion also. In your programs already JUnit dependency is there. You can get directly JUnit dependency. Should be under dependencies. Yes. Test scope is there, remove that. Downloading sources. Done. Now assert true. String message there, Boolean condition. If it link contains a name, then link navigation is successful. Same copy, paste in else condition. Link navigation is failed. Here add false. So true not equals with false, then it will report a fail. Here in this case, again set true. Directly you can just compare with the status, or we can write a message and then condition. Again, this is also link navigation. Some message we can write. In the condition we can write status here. Why we are not writing explicitly here? We are giving the asset true. Based on the element behavior, it is navigated to correct page, then it will get as a status as a true, then true true equal pass. Else it will take as a false, then it true not equals with fail, and it will fail the condition. What X path it is giving. See, if we copy the X path manually, it is displaying it. From the root node it is coming. This is called absolute X path. We are not recommending. Why? Because if any changes, T body TR means T body means table, TR means row. Okay, TR TD table. If any row is added, column is added, this will change. If any new table is added, table of 3 might be changed. So that's the reason we should not recommend to use a absolute X path. Armukan, both are same, no worries. Okay. So here we are doing the validations. Okay. To validate the elements, we may need to write XPath like this. Contains XPath or parental XPath is displayed get text. There is something like get attribute. Get attribute, I will look for the different scenarios. We can discuss that tomorrow. Okay. So for today, what you can practice, first to practice the XPath, give the priority to practice the XPath. I will share these notes, and I hope this XPath 1 might be already with you. Okay, I will share it again. First to practice the XPath. Okay, I will also paste this URL. Different combinations, first practice it. Okay, and then write if conditions based on that. If directly we have status true or false, directly write like this. And we have other things, right? Driver dot get current URL. We can validate using this. If you want to validate the URL, this is the thing. There would be like some other things. For each page, it will also contain title. Title is welcome with it. Now jumping to the menu link. Again search title. Menu is there. We can compare with this title also. How we can get this page title? Get current URL returning the string, so we are storing it in a string variable. And then further validation using if condition. Now driver dot get title. Again this title also returning the which data type string. Okay. String page title. Okay. then write a if condition. If page title contains menu, then assert true, else false. We can also write other statement like assert equal get expected actual. Okay, expected, sorry, this is actual we can give here. Expected give manually. This will get the page title from the application. We are giving that as a manually expected. Actual this. If both are equal, it will return as a false, else fail. In equals condition, we can write directly. But for contains, we have to write definitely like this. So you have the scenarios like first practice the XPath for all different conditions and then get current URL with assertions, get title. If you want to validate URL is correct or not, then we'll use the get current URL. If you want to validate page names, page titles are correct or not, then we can use a get title. Practice a get title with assertions again. And element level. This is page level validation, URL and the title. Element level is displayed get text. Practice all these scenarios today. Get text, when get text will work means if you write a XPath for this, okay, then dot get text will it will work. Someone mute yourself. Like at this case, type equal to their name value. The text is not displayed separately here. In this case, if you want to get the value or this element value, we need to use a get attribute of value. So at these cases, we cannot use a get attribute. Sorry, we can use get attribute. We cannot use a get text. Text is not separately injected here. Text is injected with the attribute. We can get attribute. We cannot use a get text. So for all this, we can use that. And you also have other URL, right? RNG, CharM, and different URLs you have. Just try to write a different programs. Assertion. For all these things, add assertions. Hope you might have some doubts, but first write a programs. Okay. Then note down your doubts. We can discuss that tomorrow. Okay. So any questions before wrapping up? You can ping me in a chat window. Okay. If no questions, just practice it today. Okay. And complete this all kind of validations. Okay. We'll also discuss still one more validation is pending, like get attribute is pending. We'll discuss that with the different examples to make you understand more. Okay. This is very, very important. This one. Okay. I will add this program in this class notes lastly. To make it user friendly, take a screenshot of this. So it would be easy. You can also write like these assertions. You can also write like this. So don't panic if you see somewhere. Okay. For to be can see different comparisons, string messages comparison, double float values comparison. This is called like method overloading. We can discuss the Java concepts. Retro message condition. Because of we already written like this, it is not supporting, but we can write like this also directly. Asset dot asset to something like that. Better you can just practice like this. Why I unnecessarily need to write dot extra. Hope you have taken a screenshot of this page. I'm also adding in this. Okay, right. So please practice it and note down the doubts. We can discuss it tomorrow. Okay, thank you all. Have a good day.